Welcome to Living Chinuch podcast. Today, we're going to discuss the Hayomim for the 22nd of Teves, discussing how every parent needs to be contemplating about their children's chinuch at least half an hour every day. We'll be discussing the importance of the neshama. We'll be discussing how to raise the childish, raise that aspect, and still keep the childlike purity in a child. And we'll be discussing how to think about our children and how that affects them. So let's get started. The first thing we want to speak about, right? That's one.
So do that first.
Yeah. Oh, that one first?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go for it.
Okay, so it says in the book that we have Iron Stuff. It's a book that goes through a year worth of work, avodah, in helping being a good parent and a good teacher. And it's through the land of Chassidus. And so she says that the first week's avodah lesson is about looking at every child as a diamond. There's a famous story that this lady went by dollars, an older lady. She asked her, Rebbe, you're old, you're not young, in your 80s, you started dollars and I think it was 86. And how do you have the koyach? So he said, when you're counting diamonds, you never get tired. What does that mean? The Rebbe was looking at every person as a diamond. So too, we should look at all our children as diamonds. So you're going to say, what do you mean? Oh yeah, my children's a diamond. I look at it. What does that mean? You look at your child as a diamond. Unfortunately, sometimes we think, our child is bothersome. Or we've heard in the past people say, a baby cries, or your baby's a fussy baby. It's a very, very hurtful thing to say. As much maybe the baby doesn't understand, but our words have such an effect.
Also, there's a lot of beautiful letters from the Rebbe about the importance of every single thing about how much more so a newborn baby hears and sees. That's one of the reasons why the Rebbe encourages people to be very careful about having shir malos even attached to near the baby as soon as they're born, having it in the room, because they should be surrounded by kedusha, because they're such sponges, they take everything in. So how much more so a child, even if they don't speak, they're able to retain that information that they received.
Yeah, 100%. And it's important to think, and, I see this myself, and I guess Michal also see that we look at our child, and even when they're doing something wrong, it doesn't mean that we pretend, but we have to remind ourselves that this child is a diamond. A child is a diamond. And it could be that every day we have to say to ourselves, a child is a diamond, and they might be doing something wrong, but they're not wrong. They're not bad children. They're not, rough or, whatever negative term you want to use. They're not negative. They're good kids. They're holy neshamas that unfortunately are doing something not so good right now. And when we change that attitude, also for ourselves, when I grew up, unfortunately, I had plenty of negative labels was given to me, and it took me years to get over it. If I'm not, maybe I'm still getting over certain things. And so too without, kids. My brother told me last night that a teacher in school said to me, "You're not good at maths. Don't do maths when you're older." And if he would have listened to him, would have changed the whole course of his life. Now he's an engineer, and that's all about maths, and he could do it, but he didn't listen to the teacher. But that's so that's one level. But also for ourselves and as a parent, it's important to tell our kids, be positive, and it starts by thinking of them in a positive way.
Yeah. So that leads us into a very powerful message that we learned from the Tzemach Tzedek, which we hear a million times. We have to learn how to apply this to our children in our chinuch. Trach gut vet sein gut. It literally means the actual power of your thoughts will make an impact. So the more we think about our children, if we think about our children as troublesome, if we think about our children that they need, they have issues, or they are trouble, like a problematic child, that actually shapes the child, whether you say it to him or not. And honestly, in a certain sense, the way we think about him or her will actually affect the way that we react to his or her behaviors or his or her tendencies. We can jump to conclusion that it's a troubled child, so therefore this is a troublesome thing, as opposed to say, okay, maybe this is a childish perspective of theirs, like it's immature. There's a level of maturity that they haven't reached to. And our job is to raise them out of that level of immaturity. It speaks about it clearly in Tanya, so many of these different steps of teaching ourselves and our nefesh habahamis how to grow out of childish desires. We want, as Rai Gordon tends to say in his shirim, we have a taiva for a 7-layer cake, or whatever it is, and we have to. Tanya gives us steps about how to raise ourselves out of this childish desire, out of this childish thing. That said, there is an importance going back to the diamond, which is that every single neshama has a purity. If we start giving and by raising them, we think that we have to get rid of their childlike purity, then we may have missed the point. You see how amazing it is. There's a famous story of the Friedeker, right? That his father found a teacher for him to teach him, and the teacher decided, I don't think it was a Friedeker. Anyway, teacher decided not to teach him any stories that didn't make sense, that were beyond logic. And yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. And the point was, at the moment, it was the Alter. The moment the Alter realized that that's what this teacher was teaching, he was avoiding all stories that were beyond logic or beyond nature. He said, this is not okay, because a child can appreciate, with his childlike purity, can appreciate the Eibusher just created this plant. We don't have to go into all the, complicated things in life. We don't have to make them cynical. We have to help them mature, and at the same time keep that purity, that they are a diamond. They can see the Eibusher. I was walking from the park one day, and it was a beautiful day in the summer, and this ginormous rain cloud just like hovered right above us, and we saw it was about to rain on us. And Leivik immediately said, "Mommy, we have to daven to Hashem. They shouldn't rain on us." And so the whole time he got all the kids saying, "Please Hashem, don't let it rain. Please Hashem, don't let it rain." And it happened. It literally hovered over us, and then it went past, and it didn't rain on us. And forever he lives with this thing that he davened to Hashem, and it was true. And many of us may not have that. When a struggle comes, we may not be the first ones to say, "Wow, I need to daven to Hashem for it to change." We need to keep that in our children. So again, we're trying to raise them. We're trying to think good about them. We're trying to see a good perspective on them, that at the same time will affect everything. And again, we're trying to make this practical because it's living chinuch, and it means it will affect, just the way we think about our children will affect the way we react to them.
I have just a story that when I was a counseling camp years ago, and I had one of the kids in the bank he was known as one of the the terrorist type kids. And first night in camp, we're going to put all the kids to bed in the bunk, in the room. And I'd been taught that there's 4 types of kids. There's the 2, and they sort of subdivide into 2 categories. The kids, the A, B, and the C and D. The A and B, they work like, so to speak, normal. And anytime you want them to do something, you base it off the rest of the class. So I assumed, bad word, I assumed that he was one of those kids. So I said to him, "You're disturbing your friends, go to bed." And an A-B type of kid, that will make him want to listen, because he has friends and he wants to listen to his friends. So I told him that. So he said to me, as he kept on running around, he said, "I don't have any friends." He walked off. The 2 things I learned in that moment. One was that he wasn't an A-B kid. And secondly, it hit me really hard that he said it so easily that he doesn't have any friends. I mean, he doesn't have any friends, so he doesn't need to care about their opinion. And it really hit me. So I told my co-counselor, I said, I'm making an achlata, a resolution, that by the end of this camp, I'll be his friend, and at least he'll have 1 friend. And what changed? The way my perspective on him, and the way I saw the situation. And he did a lot of things that weren't good, but what I saw was a lot of those things were coming from the rest of the bunk. They were stirring him up. Because he was a little more of a wild kid. They would stir him up, and that would make him distribute things. He would get the negative attention. And then they'd come to him and say, "Look what he's doing wrong." So I said, "What do you mean? But you're the one who pushed him to do it." And it changed totally. Besides the fact that he got that feeling that I was his friend, we had this relationship, and he respected me, and he became one of the best kids in the bunk. And it was shocking to me that, so much good came out of him. But this is what we're saying. When you look at that, at a kid or your children or anyone that you're dealing with, it's really anyone from the perspective. They're good people, they're diamonds. Then your whole perspective, if someone's good and you're something wrong, it must be a mistake. There must be something wrong. What's going on? Are you hungry? Your kids, are you hungry or are you tired? chances are that one of those two things. And we saw this, how can I take care of it?
And this doesn't mean you're finding excuses, but you're trying to,
because they're diamonds, so what's the other reason? If you say they're not good kids, so why are they not misbehaving? Oh, he's just not a good kid. And that's the excuse, not a good kid. But it's a negative label, and then he grows up saying, I'm not a good kid. Right. And it goes, it's whatever you say to him, I'm not a smart kid. Oh, I'm just not good at reading. So then the kid, he gives up on himself. We go on forever, but I think hopefully it was understood.
So just to finish off, if we want to...
One of the famous things that everyone sort of knows, but it's something to think about, it says on the 27th of Tevis, we just did it a few weeks ago, that just like putting on tefillin every day is a mitzvah from the Torah to every individual, regardless of where he's standing in Torah, whether he's deeply learned or he's simple. So too, it is an absolute duty for every person to spend a half hour every day thinking about Torah education of the children, to do everything in his power and beyond his power to inspire children to follow the path along which they are being guided. Spending half an hour every day and so people could be like, it means about his Torah. It means about part of being Torah is about he's a Mensch, and about where you look at him, and all these things and all these thoughts have a big effect and shape. If we spend the time thinking about our kids in a positive way, and then how can I make him a better kid, more of a Mensch, and things like that, look at him more like a diamond, that half an hour could be just, how can I work on myself to be the Dugma Chaya for him?
Yeah.
With Hashem, you'll have a lot of success.
Amen. So just to summarize, so we need to make quality time, at least from Hayom Yom, it says at least half an hour, but every Goachlata, we have to make it realistic to ourselves, but at least try at least once a day to make a little bit of quality time to really think, wow, how can I do this better? How can I think better about my children? How can I, because again, our thoughts, our thoughts will affect. Every time we think a positive thought about our child, our child is receiving positivity. Another thing we discussed was about raising the childish. Our job in Chinuch isn't to make them cynics or any of those things. It's about helping them mature, helping them grow and be incredible Yidden. Another part of it which is crucial, is our appreciation that this child is a very, very, very special neshama, and they're a diamond, just like this boy that used to misbehave in Sharon's camp, that he didn't care because he didn't have any friends. And the moment Sharon changed his mindset about this boy and decided, I'm going to be his friend, the relationship completely changed, and the boy changed entirely. So I hope this helps, and I hope we all take some time to really think about our children.
One of the ways also, look, one more practical thing you can do is when your kid is misbehaving, he's doing something that's bothering you, if we want to scream or we get very frustrated, which we all know, everyone has in their own way. You should stop for a second and say, 1 second, a kid is a diamond. And it could be even you saying it and you're not being honest with yourself. It's a start. It's a very good start. When you start to see that, you're saying, my kid is a diamond. You're saying, my diamond. Why are you behaving not like the diamond that I know you can be? You're my diamond.
And that raises them. That makes them feel so special. They have an incredible opportunity to fit this diamond, the title, and now they're going to have to do it. That makes sense?
Yep.
Okay. See you guys next time.